I'm just talking about Dalhousie a little bit. One issue that's come up, and they're saying, well, that plant was going to close anyway because the fuel that they have is, the contract's running out, it will be too expensive. But I know that this plant is a good plant. As I said, it's one of the few in North America with emissions control equipment, and I don't think that it makes a lot of sense to decommission it. There's been a lot of work looking at other fuels. I think there are options available. I'm told that Unit 2, 170 megawatts, could be converted to burn another fuel. And I think that that's something that needs to happen. You know, not only does it help stabilize the grid, make sure that our system remains reliable, but it can also supply us with a base load of energy and also peaking power. And support for Eel River Converter Station just down the road. There's some additional benefits. Port of Baldoon I know has been considered as a port that could receive some fuel if they went with petroleum coke. We continue to operate this plant. It can ensure a gypsum supply, but also it can showcase the new technology that this plant has a history of doing. When the plant installed scrubbers, when it converted to ore emulsion, these were first of the world things. And a lot of people came to this town to see how we were doing it. And I think that's something, another example of the innovation that we've been able to pioneer here in New Brunswick that we can continue to do. Just to wrap up very briefly, this deal, we know that it will not lower residential rates. Nobody's even claiming that it is. You know, they've got this website, lower rates, but it's not lower rates. At best, it freezes your rates for a few years. We know that it will not have any impact on the province's credit rating. I've gone through that. It doesn't help our energy security. We lose control of our supply and the way we operate it. It also reduces the employment opportunities. I agree with Professor Gagnon that as we go forward, we're going to have a different type of energy system. But having said that, we need our current system for the foreseeable future. There is no magic bullet. You cannot change things overnight, and that's not the way it will work. I agree we need to move more to renewables, and we need more conservation, but we don't do that by throwing away what we have today. I think you need to have a managed move into the new future, adopting many of the recommendations that he's had. I think things that you could do in the immediate future, though, that would help MB Power, continue to be a strong utility. On paper, they've started to move back with transmission and distribution together. History is a few years ago, they broke it up in a whole bunch of different companies. I think putting transmission and distribution back into one company would make sense. It would be more efficient. It's natural, the wires companies being together. I think there's a strong argument to combine all of generation together, including nuclear and the conventional and hydro. I think financially there would be a lot of sense to do that. I think that MBSO has been making movements towards being an independent regulator. Probably that is a good move, continue that. I think that the EUB needs the ability to examine all of New Brunswick Power and not just the DISCO company when it goes for a rate increase. That's been a criticism, that the public don't get to see the total workings of MB Power, and because they don't, they assume that there's something going on, that the utility is not being run efficiently. Well, I can tell you, and the people that work there in this room can tell you, that MB Power is a very lean organization, leaner than it has ever been. It is being run well, and I'm not afraid to have the EUB take a look at the entire operation of MB Power, not just the DISCO company. And finally, I do believe that going forward, we need to take a long, hard look at what we're doing to encourage conservation. Now, many jurisdictions have provided incentives for people to conserve, because it's true, in some ways, because we have low electricity rates, it's a disincentive to conserve. Well, it's pretty cheap, so it's not a big deal. Maybe our rates should be a little bit higher, and some of that money should be used to encourage conservation. I think that would be a wise move. So to end my time here, and I'm very interested in hearing what everybody else has to say, I do want to thank you all for being here today, for supporting a strong MB Power, and for supporting the workers of MB Power who do such a good job running the utility for you. And I appreciate the opportunity to come and share a few moments with you. Thank you.